one, suggestions for how to get enough calories when stress slash anxiety make eating difficult. Sorry, there's like a fruit fly in here. um, yeah, so this is not uncommon. Typically, I mean, it can kind of go either way, right? So someone under a lot of stress and anxiety, some people can overeat, but then there's also people that, they completely lose their appetite or their appetite decreases. This pops up in coaching often, with people who are just like really stressed or something traumatic happens. We can see that appetite decreasing. We still want to try our best to get in food and nourish our body, because if we're under a lot of stress or anxiety is high and now we're like really under eating, that's just compiling more stress, right? So we've talked about food volume and volume when it comes to keeping us full, right? So we've talked about like a protein bar is low volume, high calorie. And then like a plate of food would be high volume with like the same amount of calories, right? So which one is going to keep you full longer? It's going to be the plate of food. So when we're in a situation where appetite has decreased and we just don't feel the desire to eat, we don't want to feel like we're force feeding. So in those situations, we will opt for more high calorie, low volume foods. So I actually made a post on this, which we will link below, but I'll give you some examples. So like a high calorie, low volume meal, we'll say, I have a bunch here. So Greek yogurt with granola and berries, right? Fairly low volume, but we can shoot those calories up. Oatmeal with protein powder, granola, and berries. Smoothies. And you can really make smoothies calorie dense. So you're adding in protein powder, berries, nut butter, chia seeds, honey, maple syrup. You can add granola on there. And soon enough, that can end up being like a 500, 600 calorie smoothie, right? But you're also still getting in micronutrients there. Other examples, we could do like avocado toast with hemp seeds, or a bagel and cream cheese with a protein shake. So you got to get the point, right? These are high calorie, low volume foods that aren't going to make you feel like you're force feeding, right? Versus like a big plate of food with like rice and chicken and veggies. That's going to be tough, obviously, when you don't have an appetite. Other ones are things like jerky, cereal, applesauce, dark chocolate, olive oil. So like sometimes with clients in this situation, I will increase their fat intake because it's a lot easier to increase calories that way. So like if you think about a tablespoon of olive oil is like, 13 grams of fat. So that's a couple hundred calories or 100 and something calories. I'm forgetting exactly. Nut butter, same thing. So like 2 tablespoons of nut butter is like 200 calories. So really easy to get the calories in without the volume. Jam, honey, maple syrup, salad dressings, trail mix, granola. And on the opposite end, like a high volume, lower calorie foods would be like leafy greens, vegetables, lean protein sources, sweet potatoes. Those have more volume with less calories, essentially. So it's just about altering the volume of your meal. It doesn't necessarily mean eat a bunch of like junk food, like lower quality foods. Yeah, you can definitely incorporate those just to help a little bit, but you can still get some nutrient dense foods in there while lowering the volume of your food.
Yeah, it's really using different foods for different scenarios. Because I think a lot of people run into this when they're trying to bulk, like they're trying to do it too clean almost, where it's like, chicken and broccoli. I actually just talked to someone a couple of weeks ago in town. I ran into them and they told me, I'd love to build some muscle and get into training, but I don't really want to do like the chicken broccoli thing. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Because that's like a very common thing, you know, where people think like it has to be like a bro meal kind of thing.
Right. You know? Yeah. Like the other night, like my appetite wasn't super high because appetite will ebb and flow, right? Or your hunger is going to ebb and flow.
It's normal.
I wasn't like super hungry. So I had a dense sandwich. So I had like my bread, I had some cheese on there, I had some turkey breast, I had some little bit of avocado mayo, some ghee butter. So it's a very calorie dense meal that doesn't have a lot of volume, but I'm still having, you know, some nutrients in there. It's not like just complete crap, essentially.
Yeah. Nice one.